Hi friends, welcome back to the IRL with Lex podcast. I'm your host Lex, and this is the place where we talk about all things fitness, health, and lifestyle with a real and raw perspective. Today, I have the first ever guest on the podcast, Annabelle.
Hi guys, happy to be here.
She is my best friend, so of course she's the first person that I wanted to bring on the podcast and just pick at her brain and allow you guys to see a side of her that I get to see. So yeah, with all that being said, we're going to get into it. And if you are listening to this on Spotify, this is actually a YouTube video as well. And it looks very comfy and cozy and cute if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, it's like a big sleepover with all of us, just hanging out.
Yes. So, first I'm going to start off with a question for Annabelle, and she doesn't know what it is. But basically, the question is you get to do either 2 truths and a lie,
Ooh.
or your secret hidden talent.
Ooh. Do I have to do the talent?
No, you can do one or the other.
Can I just say what my secret talent is?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's kind of secret. I guess my secret talent would be that I am an Irish dancer, or I was growing up for like 15 years. And I placed 4th in the world at one point. And
I didn't know that.
Really?
No.
And then I got injured. And then now I work out. So I guess that's my secret talent. I can't really do it anymore because my feet are all just... They're just...
I did not know that. Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Like the whole wigs and like the sparkly dresses.
You have wigs too?
I'll have to show you a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pop a photo of the screen.
It was a whole thing. But
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did not know that.
Super fun.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, wow. Okay. Well, so if you don't know who Annabelle is, basically she is a fitness content creator who works with Gymshark. She has a code with Gymshark as well. She's actually an athlete. I'm not. And she kind of grew her following on Instagram 2022 to 2023-ish mainly.
Mm-hmm.
She is amazing. She is iconic. And so today we're just going to be answering some questions you guys asked. So the first thing I want to ask is why and when you started social media.
Okay. So this is kind of like, there was a lot leading up to it, like starting way back in like my early teenage years. So if we're gonna dive back, in high school, I would say probably like my sophomore or junior year, I was still Irish dancing at this point, so I had like pretty strong legs. And I don't remember exactly I do remember what caused it actually. I joined an all-girls lifting like weights class in my high school, like junior year of high school, and we had this old man as a coach, which is already like a red flag.
Yeah.
But every Monday I remember he made us line up one by one and step on this scale in front of everybody and yell out our weight, and he would like write it down and track it. And before this point I'd never weighed myself. I'd never like had any issues mentally with how I looked or anything like that. And I remember, since I was like naturally stronger than a lot of the other girls because I was dancing a lot, I weighed more. And I'm also 5'9", so we're tall girls, so naturally we weigh more. And so I remember shouting out my weight, and all the other girls' weights were so much lower than mine, and I was like, oh, like maybe that's something that I should try to fix. So I downloaded like MyFitnessPal and started tracking my food. And, like, obviously, social media at the time, like, Twitter, and, like, all of Tumblr, all that stuff was super popular. So it was just so toxic to be, like, looking at all that stuff. So I remember I was like, oh, I should only have, like, 500 calories a day, and, like, would do all these different challenges that, you know, what they would come up with. So that's when the eating disorder started. And that carried on for up until probably like 2021, so 5-ish years, I would say. But in the middle, like, it got to points where I would start self-harming, like, my mental health got super bad. I'm trying to think. And then, to wrap it up, basically, at the end of 2021, I hit kind of like a rock bottom in my life. Eating disorder, like, all-time high, mental health was really bad, and I was like, I just can't keep living like this. I was so tired of just crying every day and like being so stressed over eating like 4 chicken nuggets. Like it was just, I couldn't live like it anymore. So I created a New Year's resolution to get into the gym, prioritize my mental health, and that's what I did. It was hard at the beginning. Social media and like taking videos of what I was doing was never a part of the plan. It kind of just naturally happened a few months into my fitness journey because I was seeing such great results mentally, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to help other girls like going through the same thing. And then that's kind of just how my social media took off. But that's, in summary, how I started working out.
I love that. That was such a good summary.
Skipped over a lot, but in summary,
yeah,
that's the gist.
So I actually started following Annabelle pretty much as soon as she started posting. So I've been here since the beginning. It's kind of funny because it was kind of like fan behavior from me because I, aside from my social media, like fitness account, I actually have a personal one, and that's where I would like slide up on her story, be like, you look so good, blah blah, like I love you.
I wish I would have seen them.
It's so
it
funny.
Makes me so sad.
It was like I think like October 2022 or like no, December 2022.
Yeah, I remember that time period
yeah.
too.
So, but then like I started my own fitness account, and then I of course always looked up to Annabelle because I think that I resonated so deeply with her story.
Can I add something super quick?
Sure can.
That time period you're talking about, like December 22, and how you were looking up to me at that time, I was still going through so much mental shit, pretty much. Like, I was so insecure still, and it's funny that, like, I guess through social media you could never tell.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of growth since, but I just thought that's kind of funny.
No, I love that you shared that because I think that, because, like, even the other day when I shared that post on Instagram, that the reason I hadn't been posting pictures of myself is because I, like, kind of hate how I look at the moment and don't. It's been, I don't know, I've just been struggling, like, a lot with food and everything, and so the fact that people were commenting, like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy, like, I wish I looked like you and all those things, it's like, you never know what is actually going on offline because it's such a curated place. Like, I can take a picture and then put it online and everybody's like, I wish I looked like that, but then inside of your mind and, like, behind closed doors, you, like, are struggling so immensely.
That's so real.
So, yeah, I'm really happy that you said that. So, what is something that helps you after you started? What are some things that did you struggle with your identity at first being the gym? Did you ever struggle with that? Like did you ever struggle with like feeling like the only thing that you were was a gym girl and like, you couldn't go to the gym?
Oh yeah.
And some people asked how did you stop feeling that way, or how did you navigate that?
I feel like I felt that in the sense of like social media and being a gym girl. I felt like I could only post gym stuff and that's all people wanted to see of me, and not of like my actual self and like what I do day to day in a sense. Up until very recently, like the past few months, I've been starting to post more like lifestyle stuff and showing people like a different side to me, because I felt like for a while I had to be this like super intense gym girl that only posted gym content, and in reality there was a time where I didn't even go to the gym for over a month or two, and I felt kind of like a fraud in a way, and I was like, no, like my account's not just fitness stuff, it's like my account's me, and I feel like I wasn't showing that. So I guess in that way, yes. Mentally, like inside my head, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I don't know. I don't think so, but I have good balance, I feel like. But again, I felt that way on social media though, for sure.
Yeah, I think that especially it's way different trying to navigate that online versus if you're just a person that goes to the gym and that's your personality, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's way different when it's kind of your job. So
yeah.
Then, like, if your job is mainly gym content and you don't love that as much as you did at once, I think that is kind of hard.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, like, what do I do?
Yeah. It's like,
but then I realized there's so much more to fitness than just the gym. That's why I started hiking, playing tennis, and then I started showing that content a bit more, and like people loved that. So that definitely made me feel better. I guess in a sense at that point I was kind of feeling like, am I only like this like gym girl person, or like can I do more? And that's when I started doing all these different types of fitness, which helped a lot. But yeah,
nice.
I think it's good for people to experiment with different kinds of fitness and not just stick to the gym, because I feel like eventually like burnout's bound to
Inevitable.
happen,
Yeah.
and that's what happened to me. And I don't know, there's just so many. I never saw myself as a hiker or like would do these hot yoga classes, but I think it's so fun to like switch it up and keep it interesting to
Yeah.
keep you motivated more.
I think like a big issue, especially on social media, is like people think that they can only be like, you have to be a runner, or you have to be a Pilates girl, or
Yeah.
you have to be a gym rat, and
It's
like
strictly one thing.
yeah, like you literally don't have to be like, nobody's like holding you at gunpoint being like, you're not allowed to do anything else except lift weights, and if you do, then you're a fraud. Like that's just not how it is.
Like fitness should be fun.
Yeah, like
It's something you enjoy and want to do.
that's why you started it in the first place. So it's
Yeah.
important to ground yourself sometimes and remember that like that's what makes it exciting, is changing and evolving over time. So
So real.
golf clap. What is it, like the two little finger
I have
taps?
no idea.
Okay. Okay, so what are, in your opinion, the pros and cons of being an influencer?
We were talking about this like last night, kind of. There are so many pros. It's an amazing job. It's what I love to do. You get to help people, inspire people, share content that you're passionate about. I'm passionate about creating content as well, so it's definitely just something I enjoy doing. I love meeting new people. I would have never met Alexis if it wasn't for social media, so there's so many great positive things about it. But of course, to social media, there's always negatives. Obviously, hate comments, Reddit pages.
The Reddit pages are the worst. We
Um,
don't have the balls to download Reddit, so...
No, I don't think anyone should be on Reddit. But anyway, comparison, the pressure of just feeling like you have to look a certain way. I feel like the list kind of goes on and on. What about you?
For me, I think it definitely is comparison, but it's not
Yeah.
really even, it's so weird because my biggest issue has never been comparing myself to other people. It's always been comparing myself to myself and knowing what I can look like or what I can accomplish versus what I am in the moment. And if I'm not doing, I'm a very big numbers person, I always have been, which is like one of my flaws, but like if the numbers, in my opinion, aren't matching what they could be.
What,
then
like weight or?
No, just like any numbers. Like even when I was a kid, like grades. So I was always like forced to, all my report cards, I've never got anything under a 100. Everything on everything I've ever had is 100 or above.
She's a smart cookie, guys.
Well, it was like, it's kind of like, it set me up for failure because then it became like obsessed with numbers with my weight, obsessed with numbers with likes, obsessed with numbers of engagement.
Also that
so
too. Engagement and
numbers
likes
with
and stuff.
anything. It just like is very, I don't look at my likes. I don't look
Yeah.
at the likes on anything or the engagement on anything because I'm like, if I do, then I'll stop posting content that I am passionate about and I'll just start doing things just for the views. Whenever that's what I try to not do.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably my biggest issue. And like, so I really am I'm my biggest bully and I know that.
I think everyone's very self-critical of themselves. But I also really agree with the whole numbers with like likes and engagement. Like I remember when my account first started popping off, and I think any influencer can kind of relate.
Yeah.
There's one point in your career where like your posts are going crazy, the likes, the comments, the engagement, and then all of a sudden it'll eventually go down.
Yeah.
And then you're like mentally you're like, wait, do people not like my content anymore? Like, am I doing something differently? And you start blaming yourself in a way, but it's just naturally what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that was something really hard that I had to deal with and get over. But I'm sure most influencers have dealt with that at one point or another.
Yeah, and then you get all the comments like, bro fell off,
Yes,
like,
yes.
this fall off needs to be studied.
Literally.
Mind you though, guys, Annabelle still gets like 300,000 likes a photo. And I think I get 3,000.
No! It makes me look so bad.
No, it doesn't look bad. But like, so to give you guys perspective on her aspect, like I remember when her stuff was popping off and she was going viral. And I actually want to talk about that too. Like, I think that virality can be a curse, like, because it is such a big burden, because it creates this expectation in your mind that virality is something that lasts, and it's not. But like, whenever she was going viral, I remember some of her stuff was getting like 1 million likes, like, per photo, and it was like, whenever you go from that many to a lesser number, it doesn't matter. I was going from 8,000 likes and now I get 3,000, and that like bothers
It's still,
me.
I mean, I feel like it doesn't
matter about the
number.
The number.
Yeah, it's just the decrease.
It's the idea of it. It's like, why is it not enough?
Yeah.
Why is it not good enough?
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think that goes along with like the curse of virality and trying to stay relevant and like the fear of becoming irrelevant.
Yeah, that's real.
Struggle with that.
I stress about that all the time. But I think that's why it's so important to have like a strong community behind you. Because I think if you're just posting for the like virality of things, you're gonna fall off eventually because you don't have that strong community that actually cares like behind that kind of content, which is something I struggled with. I remember when I first started going viral, I would kind of like recreate the same video in hopes that it would like keep going, and obviously that's not sustainable.
So we took a momentary little break, had to close some freezers, had to drink some water.
Yeah.
But now we're back. So what is your favorite opportunity that you've ever gotten out of being a content creator?
Oh my gosh. There's been loads. I would say, like, the highlights, I guess, are the Gymshark events. I don't know if you guys have ever been to one, but they are so much fun. Alexis and I went to the Miami one together, which was really fun. We shared a room, little girly sleepover, got to bond for the first time, really.
Yeah.
Those events are so much fun. They're so rewarding because I get to meet a lot of my audience in person for the first time, and they get to share their stories, and, like, I did a Q&A for the first time at the Miami one, and that was really cool. Those events are the best. They're like the highlight of my year. So I would say those. The opportunity for me to move from Jersey to California, obviously that wouldn't have been possible without doing what I do now. And that's been a dream of mine since I was like in high school before I even started all of this. What else? I think just getting to travel as well. I love traveling. And there's been a lot of opportunities that allow me to travel, so I think that's really fun too. And then, obviously, just making new friends at events. Like, that's how I met Alexis. We met at Alpha Land last October. So I would say just traveling and making new friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I think that one of the big things is just all the opportunities that it opens up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Such a big blessing. Also, what's your favorite platform to post on? Okay, wait. In different ways. For, like, cute content, what's your favorite? And then for personality content, what's your favorite?
Okay, my favorite content to get, like, creative on is Instagram, because I do, like, my fun little reels. I love editing reels,
Her reels
photos.
are so good, y'all.
Aw,
No, they
thanks.
are. I could never.
Those reels sometimes really make me question, like, my life. They really stress me out sometimes. They take days sometimes, because I'm like, I can't do it.
Guys. The transitions.
Oh my god, thanks.
It's like the Ratatouille scene where he eats the strawberry and the cheese together. You know, like the colorful scene. That's how I feel.
I can't think of what you're talking about.
I'll pop it up on the podcast video.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, those reels really take a lot.
Really?
Oh my god, that was really good. That was
She's
really,
like
good. Wait. Oh, and then personality content. I guess YouTube or TikTok. TikTok used to be my main platform for a while when I first started, and then I just started not liking TikTok. I don't really remember what it was that made me switch. I'm starting to get back into it now, but I've also recently started YouTube this past year, and I think that's been an awesome way for me to connect better with my audience as well. But I say overall my favorite's Instagram because it's where I get to be creative the most. And I also have my strongest audience over on Instagram as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting because with Instagram, I don't feel like I can be creative. I feel
Really?
like, yeah, I feel like TikTok's where I'm allowed to be the most creative. Which, I don't really know why, but I have a stronger audience on TikTok than I do Instagram. Because I think Instagram, I gained most of my following whenever I was, like, posting transformation videos.
Yes, transformation videos are always,
that's the curse of virality. Because then people expect that piece of content from you, and I don't ever consider myself I don't consider my page a recovery page. It's not. I'm fully recovered, so I'm not somebody who, like, talks about recovery. Because, like, I don't talk about it because it's not in my life anymore. So people expect that kind of content from me or expect the transformation videos, but that's just not what I want to make anymore. So
yeah, that's fair.
But, yeah, now we're gonna ask some questions that you guys asked over on Instagram. Snap. Okay, so people asked, how did we become friends?
Okay. I think, well, I guess it started when you followed me first.
Yeah.
And then you showed up on my Explore page once. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this girl.
Was it a transformation video?
No, it was a... Hold on, someone's calling me.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry, let me restart that. So, it started off with her originally following me on Instagram. And I don't remember when you... I guess in 2022? 2023?
It would have been like January 2023.
Okay. And then I don't remember when I exactly saw you on my Explore page, but it was like a mirror picture or something.
Yeah, that was my...
And you're wearing like... What was it? Like rainbowy tie-dye shorts?
Oh, yeah.
And like a pink top or something? I don't remember. And I clicked on your account and I saw that we've kind of been through something similar. And I was like, oh, I love all of her content. So I followed you back. And then...
Also, just so you guys know, I was like crapping myself when she followed me back.
That's so funny. And now we're here.
Yeah.
And then I guess we worked for the same supplement company for a while, Alpha Lion. And we finally met at Alpha Land last October. And that was so much fun. I feel like we instantly clicked. And everywhere I was going, I was like, where's Alexis? Like, I want to hang out with her. We took some photos together. It was a super fun trip. And then we were texting and like messaging ever since. And then she came to Lift Miami. And she had an Airbnb. But then turns out it was really sketchy. I don't know if you told them about that story.
I did, but yeah, so basically they lied about the Airbnb. I got there, it was a room in a house with a family. It was upstairs. Pretty sure it was a trafficking house. Whenever I went to leave to go stay with Annabelle, there was a key in my door from the outside. Like, they were trying to lock me in. And I didn't tell anybody I was leaving. I left, I dipped, and whenever I requested a refund, they didn't even negotiate, which to me is like, you don't want anybody, like, the Airbnb's eyes on you.
Yeah,
but
that's a little sus.
It was a lot, but we're alive, and that's all that matters.
Well, she came to stay in my hotel room, and then we got to have, like, a mini 2-night sleepover, which was really fun. And now 7 months, no.
7 months?
Almost no.
Wait.
Math, wait.
Girl. Are you talking about October?
Yeah, wait.
Wait.
8 months?
There's 2 more months. Wait. 3 more months. 9 months.
9 months later. That was 9 months ago?
That's crazy.
Wait, no, since Miami. What am I doing?
Oh, I thought it was since October. Yeah, since Miami's been 7... Wait, no, it hasn't. 6 months? You guys, don't quote us on this. We're college dropouts, just so you know.
Anyway, like 5 or 6 months later, now we're here.
We can only add 45 plus 45.
Real. But yeah, that's it pretty much.
Yeah, so now we're here. So, somebody also asked, what are our favorite things about each other? I'll go first, since it's my podcast.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like the Mean Girls clip. She doesn't even go here. Okay, my favorite thing about Annabelle, number one, I don't know how many I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna name like my favorites, my top favorites.
Okay,
but
there's so many.
Number one, just how kind she is. Like, I remember whenever I was gonna meet her for the first time, I literally was terrified. Like, you guys, okay, actually,
I have an RBF.
You don't even know this, but so whenever I went to Houston last year, I had to drive there. I didn't have enough money to buy a plane ticket at the time, so I drove. And I actually wasn't going to end up going, but when Annabelle told me that she was going, I was like, I don't care.
No
F
way.
it. I'm driving 13 hours. I was like, this is the only reason I'm going. So I really only even was going because I knew that you were going to be there.
That's so cute.
So I was like, if she doesn't like me, I just drove here for no reason. So basically, Alpha Line had a Halloween party. I'll pop a picture of us on the screen because we looked adorable. We were slaying the house down. She was a police and I'm a police.
I was security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was Raven from Teen Titans. But we kind of hit it off. I didn't really know if she liked me or not.
No, I loved her from the second I saw her. I was like, I want to be friends with this girl.
I loved her from the start, but basically, she was so, like, just genuine and kind. Like, as soon as, like, on the spot. It didn't feel like she had, like, a front up. It didn't feel like she was, like, get this girl away from me right now. Which, like, with a lot of content creators,
it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss.
Yeah, and so that was one of the things that, like, kind of just drew me to you, because I'm a very, like, I love, like, genuinity. And then the second thing would be just how, like, you're just, like, a little ball of sunshine. Like, you're so joyful to be around, because, like, I remember, like, yesterday, honestly, yesterday was kind of such a crap day before, like, I got to y'all's car, but, like, literally, like, despite it being traffic and overwhelming and overstimulating, you were just, like, just very, like, just joyful. It's just, like, radiating.
That's so sweet.
And then...
There's more.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what was the question? Oh, okay.
Just say all the nice things about me.
No, and then the other thing would probably just be how comfortable you make me feel. Like, you make me feel very comfortable about myself, and you make me like myself more. Which is really difficult to do, because, like, guys, even my boyfriend can't do that. My boyfriend can't make me like myself, but you do. Like, today when we were, like, trying on all the clothes, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there and I was like, I look like shit.
No.
But, yes, like,
I was thinking that about myself.
See,
we're our own worst critics.
We have each other's brains, but yeah. So you just make me like myself, which that's really hard.
Gosh.
So.
That is literally the sweetest thing I think anyone's ever said. But it's annoying because all those things are the things like, they apply to you as well. Like, she's, like, the most bubbly, happy person I've ever met, and it just, like, radiates whenever I hang out with her. So I guess we just bounce off of each other in that way.
Balls.
And then the most genuine influencer I've ever met. It's always, like, hit or miss when you meet one in person. You're never really sure if they're going to be the same way that they are online as they are in person. And the way she is online is exactly the way she is in person as well, which was really, like, refreshing to see.
Oh, that's such a good word.
Refreshing?
Yeah.
It is. That's why I was, like, so drawn to you when I first met you, because it's like, oh, she's, like, so real and, like, an actual person in real life. And then just, like, how much we have in common. Like, we've gone through so much
copy paste
in our life, and a lot of it is really similar, which in, like, kind of a freaky way. But it's nice because we can kind of, like, trauma bond over a lot of stuff.
I think that's literally how we became best friends. Yeah. Voice memos.
We literally sent so many voice memos back and forth of just trauma dumping on each other after Houston. Yeah. I think, yeah. After Houston. And I feel like that's how we got really close. Just realizing, like, how much we have in common that way.
Yeah.
And then it's just so easy hanging out with you, too. I feel like some friends you have to act a certain way or, like, keep the conversation going if there's any silence, and it's super awkward, and I feel like it's not like that with her. And honestly, the distance sucks, but we make it work.
There was a question about that.
Really?
Yeah, somebody asked what kept us close long distance.
All of our voice memos.
Yeah,
probably.
Like, that's key. We've kind of been slacking.
We have been slacking, guys, yeah.
It's not, like, in a way that, like, we haven't been good friends. It's just, like, whenever you become adults, like, you have things that you have to do.
Yeah,
so
life is life.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, though, I think what makes somebody a good friend is whenever you can go that long time or that long period without talking, but as soon as you start talking again, it feels like you never stop.
Yeah, that's
it's like, just, like, instant connection,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what's kind of kept us, and just not the expectation of the other one to, like, we don't get upset if the other doesn't respond in a day or a week, or, like,
because we're the same. We're, like, the same person.
So, like, we have the same brain. So, like, then we both think that we're bad friends. We're both,
because it goes, like, there's a week that goes by where we don't respond to each other, and we're like, wait, oh my god, I just saw this. Like, I'm so sorry.
And then we literally followed up, like, immediately with, like, I feel like such a bad friend. I'm so sorry. But no, like, I think that just not having unrealistic expectations for the other person, and also just kind of, like, meeting them with grace and I'm pleased whenever she responds. I'm like, I'm blessed with her response. Like, instead of, like, I expect or I deserve a response.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that's kind of just how I be looking at it.
Yeah, and I love our little, like, FaceTime catch-up calls.
Yeah,
every,
like, once a month.
Literally.
We catch each other up on all the tea.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, I FaceTimed her the night that I went on this date with this guy. It was, like, 12 a.m., but anyways, I thought that I was gonna get, like, kidnapped by him. It was very, very awful experience. But anyways, the first person I came home and told was Annabelle, and I FaceTimed her.
That was a fun call.
It was, yeah. Actually, he got me flowers, but he cut off the flowers, so then he just gave me stems.
Like, Tell me that's not a psychopath.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then when we get to the restaurant, he stands on the table.
What?
Yeah, I didn't tell you that.
No, you didn't
he
tell me that.
on the table
What?
and did like a little dance.
You're lying.
And so then whenever we got back to his apartment, y'all, he had a $5 charcuterie board and then tries to play the Addams Family because apparently that's why he cut the flowers off because he said I looked like, what's her name? Morticia?
I have no idea.
From Addams Family, and he got like a $5 charcuterie board, which I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't eat cheese. And then he was mad at me that I couldn't eat the charcuterie board. And then I was like, I got my mom to call me. I was like, all caps, text me right now that you need me to come home. Please, please. I was like, it was like 10 minutes. And he kept like scooting closer to me on the couch, and I'm like, I swear if this man touches me. So then she calls me, and he was at, I'm not going to say where because I don't want people to find him. But anyways, an hour and a half away. And I escaped that and then went and FaceTimed her first thing. Yeah.
No, that's a psychopath for sure.
that's a true crime documentary.
That's crazy.
Okay, so I just have a few more things and then we're going to be closing out. But somebody asked, what's our favorite memory together?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know.
Probably having our little sleepover in Miami. I feel like that was a chance where I finally got to like get to know you better, and it was such a fun night. We made a few TikToks, and we actually, it was like a girls' night. We had Joy come over, we had Nella come over. I think it was just us four.
It was. And
we all just had like girl time, and just, it was so nice, because I struggle making girlfriends sometimes. It's just something I've always struggled with. But that night was so refreshing, being able to like hang out with 3 other girls that are so genuine and nice, and we all just got to bond and talk together. I think that was probably one of my favorite memories.
Yeah, especially because they all like felt the same way, because they also expressed having difficulties making girlfriends. My favorite memory together. Oh my gosh, that's actually such a good question.
It's hard because we also haven't seen each other in person that many times.
So honestly, I think sometimes some of mine are like, one of them would be our voice memos. I love that because that's when I got to know you.
Yeah.
And that would definitely be one of them. But then also in Miami, like the fact that you so like readily asked me to come to the hotel with you so that I wouldn't be at that Airbnb, like that just like was such a like show of your character, and like that meant so much to me.
No, I just wanted to hang out.
Yeah, I love that.
Like,
and just like the fact that like even like she opened up her home to me, and like that's crazy. That's just,
well, of course,
I love that.
Of course.
Just pretty much though, anytime that I'm with you.
Aww.
Like I just love being around you. So,
but
okay, the last thing is, what is a piece of advice that you wish that you could tell, or just something that you needed to hear when you were struggling? If you would have heard this.
We were talking about this earlier, since we're both tall. Something I struggled with growing up was, since I'm 5'9", I felt like that alone, like, I already took up too much space. I was so self-conscious of my height for such a long time. Sometimes I still get a little insecure about it, but not as bad as, like, when I was growing up in high school and stuff. But since I was tall, I felt like I was already taking up so much space in that way, and that I had to be skinny to make up for it, which sounds ridiculous. And I always had people tell me, like, oh my gosh, you should go into modeling, da-da-da. That always made me want to, like, lose more weight.
Yeah.
And that was something that I wish I did not entertain. And I think if you're a tall girl watching this, like, your height, like, shouldn't determine... wait, there's a good way I need to word this. Hold on.
Take your time.
Like, you don't take up more space than other people just because you're taller or your weight or anything. It's so stupid. I think... I'm trying to word this right.
It's stressing me out. I understand what you're saying. And also, though, taking up space is not a bad thing. You deserve to take up space. Like,
period.
Do you understand how much space is on the earth? You really think that you taking up a little bit more, and people that love you want more of you. So the more space that you are taking up, there's more of you to appreciate.
Oh, I love that.
And your personality, like who you are, will be, it kind of like shines whenever you are allowing yourself to flourish instead of like starving yourself and like hating yourself. the person that you are is so much better than the smaller version of you if you're miserable.
That's what I was trying to say. Basically that.
See, same brain. I get it. But
one other thing, a piece of advice that I wish I knew. When I first started working out, I actually started working out to lose weight still, because I was still, like, struggling with my eating disorder insecurities and stuff, even though I made it a New Year's resolution to work out. It wasn't necessarily for the right reasons. And I didn't think that, at the time, you always hear, like, for women, like, you shouldn't get too bulky, you shouldn't lift weights, because you're going to be manly, and all this stupid stuff. And I believed that, so I only did cardio for, like, the first few weeks. And I would kill myself on the, like, Stairmaster or on the little bike, just trying to get skinny, and,
the
it's
nausea
just so,
after the Stairmaster?
Oh, it's so real. But it's just so toxic. I think, fuck it, like, it's funny because I used to want to be, like, the smallest version of myself, but now I'm trying to be, like, the biggest version of myself. So I think that's progress. And I think working out does not make you bulky. If anything, it takes years of intense training.
Like, I'm jealous if you can.
Bulking, and maybe steroids to get bulky. Like, I promise you, it's not gonna happen. And just work out for yourself. Don't work out for other people or their opinions. Work out because it makes you happy and it's good for you and for your mental health. Yeah, period.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. I loved this because it really just felt like a regular conversation between Annabelle and I.
Yeah.
And if you guys, all of her social medias will be linked in the description of the podcast as well as on the YouTube channel. And her code is Annabelle at Gymshark, Rise Fuel, Rise Supplements, Gila Mix.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I try to remember all of them. I try to support my queen. But I love you guys. I hope you're having a great week and stay buff and bubbly.